Hey friends, this is Mr. Miller, and today's lesson is a lab called Feeling Osmosis. So if you would open up this worksheet in day 5 of your Schoology page, we'll get started. Have you ever picked up a piece of lettuce in a restaurant sometime and had it so soggy it just looked gross and felt gross? Same thing for maybe a French fry. So right here, I took some lettuce and I made some mini French fries with this cork borer and this potato and poked out some holes. And I dropped the potato and the lettuce into a solution. And let's just call this solution A. All right. I also took a piece of lettuce and a potato core and I put it in another solution I'm going to call B. Okay, so I put one in each one of these. We're going to let these sit for a little bit and find out how do these solutions affect the cells in the lettuce and the potato, and why are they? So to start with, on your sheet, if you would just notice, maybe if you were to feel this piece of lettuce, you can kind of tell by looking at it, it's very soft and squishy. And so is the potato core. Pretty squishy here, pretty soft. Now, this lettuce that's in solution B, it's a little firmer and crisper. You'll have to take my word for it here because you're not here to feel it, but you can certainly tell that the potato is firmer and crisper, and I'm going to leave it in those solutions a little bit longer. So if you would just write down in the first column, what does it feel like? I said the lettuce in A was soft and squishy, and the lettuce in B was crisp and pretty firm. Same thing, I said it was bendy for the potato and crisp, but same idea. So what we're going to look at today is I'd like you to take notes on osmosis. Stop this video, come back to it after you've taken the notes, and let's see if you can draw a plant cell showing the water movement that would explain why the lettuce was so soft and squishy in A, but crisp in B. All right, so now that you understand a little bit about osmosis, let's find out why the lettuce in A was soft and squishy. So the first thing I want you to do is to draw a plant cell, fairly big size, one cell that represents the many cells that are in the piece of lettuce. And we'll draw another one down here. Now you realize that osmosis is the movement of water. Did water move into or out of the lettuce in A that made the lettuce soft and squishy? Okay, and in B, did water move in or out? Okay, most people incorrectly think that water's moving in and that's what's making this leaf soggy, when in fact that's not actually what's going on. Draw yourself a cell membrane that looks something like this inside of the leaf. So, what we find is water actually exited the cell. And so we know that water, like any other molecule, diffuses from high concentration to low concentration. So water exiting the cell means there was a high water concentration inside the cell. Now, why would that cause the lettuce, to get squishy? And the answer is called turgor pressure. If you think of the blue cell membrane as a water balloon and the green cell wall as a box, if I were to take this water balloon and deflate it as water left it, the box becomes very flimsy. Whereas if you look at the lettuce in B, if the water balloon had water entering it, water entering the cell, that would swell up, in this case the cell membrane, and put pressure on the wall that makes the wall very strong. We call that turgor pressure. So what was going on literally was water left the cells in A and water entered the cells in B. Now that you have that information, complete the rest of this diagram for the potato also. And you should come back to this and check your answers when you're done. Okay, hopefully you figured out that if water is higher inside the cell, then salt has to be higher outside. And we call a solution that has a higher solute concentration compared to the cell hypertonic. So solution A was a hypertonic solution. It had high solutes, in this case salt, outside the cell. Because it had high solutes, it had low water outside the cell, but it had high water in, and that's why high water moved from high to low. Likewise, B was pure deionized water, 100% water. And as a result, water was higher outside the cell than it was inside. 100% outside, about 99% inside. Therefore, if water is higher outside, then the salt has to be higher inside. And therefore, we call the solution on the outside hypotonic. Why? Because the solution had lower solutes than the cell did. Higher water, but lower solutes. Okay, and the answers would be similar for your potato here. So that explains why lettuce gets soft. Would you rather have Grandma store her lettuce in pure water or salt water? You make the call, deciding whether you'll like your lettuce crisp or squishy. Personally, I prefer this kind of lettuce to this kind of lettuce. Or, if we were in the potato world, I prefer this kind of potato to this kind. Yeah, I prefer crisp. That's it. See you guys next time.